Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day. So, this is pretty much what we talked about, where you're going to start seeing news come out like this. And as this news starts to come out, you're going to see sell offs, buying opportunities, positions changing. This is just what you're going to get. I mean, there's really no other way to say it. So, just keep that in mind. There's really very little that you're going to do or say here that's going to affect this. So let's just get right into this and drill in. So let me just grab this link and put this link in a couple spots, and then we'll begin. So, and I'm just going to drop this here and go live. And let's just do it. Let's just do it. Start rocking and rolling here. So for me, one of the key things to look at is what are the indexes doing? So we have this COVID news quote, we're going to call it news, where the CEO came out and made some statements about what's going on. And those statements were pretty clear and showing exactly what we're going to see here. So for me, I don't want to get into the relevance of the statements. What's more important than the relative of the statements is what we're going to do about it. So in other words, let me just preface this. I don't know if what the guy from mRNA is saying is accurate. If it's not accurate, I don't know. All I know is that that person has a job to do, and their job is to sell a product. I'm not saying that there's not value in that product. Let's see why this is taking so long today. There we go. But it's something that we have to take a look at and understand. Now, if I was a betting person, which I am, I would be looking to add to these names on dips. Okay. This is something that I've been short for some time, but I think that this is something where, if it breaks 350, I think it's really going to break down. But watch this. And I'd be looking for opportunities in names that are breaking down today. That's where I would be. But you're going to have to watch this, and you're really going to have to watch things like the VIX today. You're really going to have to focus on those. So let me pull up this really quickly here. Let's pull up this recently viewed. So you're going to have to focus on what's really moving today. For me, BABA, it's breaking down again, taking out another year low. That's on my radar for sure. And I would focus on this because it looks like it's tired. But the goal here is to understand that you're in a news-driven cycle. Okay, I like this chart a lot. Let me just show you this. Okay, so, but you're in a news-driven cycle, so you need to understand that. And by understanding that, you can act on it. So that's where we're at. Let's get into some questions, and we'll go from there. I personally view this down as a buying opportunity. That's how I'm viewing today. Okay. It's very clear. Let me just point this out very quickly over here. Qs are down 60 basis points. IWM is down 1.68%. Okay. SPY's down 1%. You can tell what the stronger market is right now, right? Okay. It's the Qs. It tells you everything about where your focus should be. Okay. So let's just get right into it here. Good morning now. All right. Good morning. What do you think of a firm? I'm holding 1217 calls, currently down in the position. Zane, if you're down in the position, the question is why are you still in it? I mean, that's the first question. Like, why are you in this if you're down? It doesn't make any sense. So what are we going to do about that? Okay. I would argue that you should be out of this already. When you reversed here, okay, when you reversed up here, I would have been gone. The fact that I closed here, broke this wedge line, I would be out. There's no way I would still be in this. If I found myself in it, this is your stop. And that's got to be whatever I can get out of it. I can get out of it. Let me just see where you're at this morning. So you're at 129.08, and let me just pull this to that 129.08 level and look at it this way. Okay, see that level right there? That's what you have to focus on, okay? By focusing on that level, that's going to get you where you need to be, So something to think about for sure. Okay, something definitely to think about. So let's focus on that, and we'll see how it goes. Now, in regards to, let's just keep going here and see how this goes. All right. Let me just go back to this. Okay, perfect. So I would just see how you hold here. That's it. So, good morning. Thoughts on TQQ? You've been hitting the levels nicely. Yep, let's go through that and see what's going on here. And let's pull these down, put these over here for a minute. So this is where you're at, right? And this red bar was in control until this happened, right? Monday. This is where you're at Tuesday. I don't see any reason to feel any differently than I did on Monday. I mean, to me, this dip is a buying opportunity. Now, whether or not that holds and it works out that way, we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see how that plays out. But to me, I see this as a buying opportunity. What I would say is if you don't have a position in it, I would be looking at watching that 172 level, because if I can get to that 172 level, let me just point this out to you. Okay. Now I'm in that red bar. Okay. So hopefully you can see this clear. I'll zoom in on it. Sheesh. So like you see how you're in this red bar. Once you're in this red bar, that's what you're playing with. That's the hand that you're dealt. So if you go through that and you look, that can get you up 11 points, 10, 11 points. So yeah, this is definitely one that I would look at and pay attention to. There's no question about it. There's very little question about it. And it's one that I would really focus on. So I watch that level though. If I can't get above that level today, you could be, and this was said yesterday by Tom Lee, and someone asked me about it last night, and I agreed. Look, you're in no man's land, right? You were in no man's land yesterday when you traded up. Now, whether or not we stay in no man's land or whether or not we reverse and we break out, we just don't know. We're just going to have to see. But overall, I really like what I'm seeing this morning. I'd rather gap down, open down, see what trades back up, right? See what's strong, what's not strong. The fact that these stocks are bidding down tells me everything that I need to know, right? Because I don't think that's going to last. I just don't think that's going to last. So let's just keep going. Hey, Tom. Yeah, absolutely. Today's the last day. I'm all excited. I get the end of the day. I get monthly charts. So I'm a little giddy about that. I like my monthly charts. Morning. Goldman Sachs have an option spread on it expire December 10th. Hi, Gabriel. So I would really need to know more about the option spread. If you want to type in more and let me know more. I don't know if you have a net debit spread, a net credit spread. I have no idea. I don't know if you have a call spread, a put spread. I have no idea. So the more information that you could give me, the more informed I could give you and let you know what I think. So hopefully that's helping. Okay, bull put spread. So got it. So you have essentially you have you have a credit spread on Goldman. What are your strikes, Gabriel? So here's your issue, and let's just talk about this. Okay, this morning you're going to bid down. I don't want that. I want this. Okay, that's what I need. Thank you. So here's what's going on. I actually am looking at these today and going, this is where I would be a buyer. So yeah, I mean, you come in this morning and now you're looking at it and second guessing yourself. For me, I think this can work. I think you're going to get over that 390 by December 10th. What would concern me is if I take out this low. If I take out that low, if I break the 200, you have to go. Now, one thing that you have going, and just watch this line, okay? There's a couple things I'm going to give you to watch, Gabriel. You just might want to set up your chart this way, right? This is where you are pre and post right now, okay? So we don't know that we're going to be there, but let's just assume that we open there, right? We can go on that assumption. It probably doesn't happen, but let's just assume. So if you're looking at that, okay, and then you just come here and go, well, okay. So essentially, this is down a little bit. This is down a little bit. Watch these levels and see if they break. If you break this, you need to get out of the way. But to me, if I wanted to be in these names, this is a buying opportunity to me. Down 6, 7, this is where you want to buy it. Let me show you why. And I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a channel right here. And let's remove all annotations. And let me just draw this channel real quick, Gabriel, so you can see this. See this? Let me just point that right there. Let me just clone this very quickly. So you always try to clone them and then see where they fit. Because by doing that, even if it's not perfect, okay, even if it's not perfect, it allows you to see the channel. So, right, rejection of the channel low, rejection of the channel low. Okay, this is the channel high, right? So would I want to get out of my long position here? Probably not. I'd probably want to add to my long position here. You're seeing something very similar in this. Now they can always break those falling channels, but you're seeing something very similar in this, where this is the upper channel and this is the lower channel. So I would say that you're okay, but if you break the 200, you got to get out of the way. So yeah, I think ETH is going to just rip. I really do. I mean, it's one that, let me just show it this real quick. So it's one that, I mean, look, the largest position I have in this space in crypto right now is this, period. What you want to watch today for this is this level right here. Okay, that's your breakout. Reversing the frozen rope pattern, here's your rising wedge. Reversing that tells you everything you want to know. Your next level of real resistance, I'll just point this out real quick, is up here with a 5 on it. These become resistance lines as they were supports. Someone's going to say you're going to stop here. I don't think you're going to stop here. I think that these wicks you're going to get through those wicks fairly quickly. So you're welcome. You're welcome, Gabriel. So just use that as a guide. So let's just keep going. What's up, Brian? Tesla, Lucid. So let's go here. So Tesla. All right. So what we're seeing here is, here's your line. This is what you're looking to flip. Okay. I have a position in this. I have stock. I have options. We had 2 buys on it yesterday. Look, I don't see a reason to do a darn thing here. Maybe I stay in no man's land today. The best thing about today that could happen is that we just have an inside day, and then the next move determines which way we go. And hopefully we see something like that, but that would be appealing to me. That would be really appealing to me. So you're going to have to kind of see how this plays out. Very scattered what we're seeing this morning. Let's focus on this a little bit more. The one thing that I would just simply point out is it's great to have your levels in, your support and resistance levels, right? Support, resistance, and then see how you're responding to them. So you can see how this support level right here is holding. You can see how this resistance level is still kind of acting as resistance, but we're trying to flip it. And then you can see the upper range right here. So really all you're doing is just bonking all over the place, right? Bonk, 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 right? So by looking at that, what it tells you is that you really are not doing anything, right? Buy it when it dips and sell it when it rips. That's it. I mean, it's what I've been doing with it. So Lucid, I like. I really like. If I was in a better environment right now, it probably, I'll just candidly tell everybody because it doesn't really matter. It might even be in the newsletter right now, because all I needed to do is get above this level. Let me throw this out there for a moment so you can see the level. All I got to do is get above 56.08 and close above there. And you can see these wick lines. I refer to them as double horns when you have 2 of them, little double faces. That's what I see. Maybe I have issues. But if you flip this level right here, I think you're going to push and get over that. Now, if you can push over that, what I would argue is that would negate this negative pattern, right? We're always looking for confirmation or negation of a pattern. That's what you're looking for, confirmation or negation constantly, okay? So what we're going to see here doesn't mean you're right, but it just increases your probability. If you break this, you're going to the 60s. This is a huge huge cup that you're breaking out of. So I would stay focused on this. This is definitely something that's on my radar for sure. So, and let's just keep going. So I know I jumped around there a little bit. Edward, UPST looks to make that turn. Yep. So I can tell people are a little shocked this morning. It's kind of interesting. You can tell by the feed and how many people ask questions. It's interesting. You can tell people are like, oh, I thought we were going to go up. They're all upset about their positions not running today. It's kind of interesting to see. Look, this is what we've been waiting for. If you have watched, and if you haven't, please watch it. You'll benefit from it. And I think it's only 13 minutes. I did a video on 3 candlesticks. Look it up, and you might want to watch it. I don't think I can post links in here. But the reason I'm saying that is this was your reversal pattern right here, right? This is a bullish hook reversal, essentially, right? I got over it this day, so it's not technical, but you have a bullish engulfing reversal right there, and you're flipping the hook right here, right? And then you go. This tells you everything that you need to see. I like this a lot. I really think that this could get back to 270. So this is definitely on my list, and I think it should be on everybody's list. I like this a lot. I really do. So I can't stress that enough. So, hey, Tom. Okay, Sophie. So, these kinds of names are going to have an issue. And the issue that they're going to have is that you're not going to see big institutional money step in front of these. Matter of fact, what you're seeing is you're starting to see them come in. And I just want to, so to me, you need to hold that 200-day. Please note over here that, like, if you see this VIX, and I'm going to throw this over here as well, what you should be doing today, just one thing that you should be doing all day long today, you should be monitoring this, okay, all day long. It won't let me do this because it's a future. But what you need to be doing is just monitoring this, the VIX, the volatility index, all day long. This VXX will let me do it because it's an ETF. Let me throw in pre and post. But just look at what's been transpiring, okay? So volatility the entire time has been dropping down, okay? What does that mean? It means that you have the potential to possibly rally here, okay? Just keep that in mind. That's one thing that you should be looking at all day today, okay? Now, let's just keep going with the questions. So, Sophie, what do you do with it here? So, what you do with Sophie is relatively simple, okay? You need to sit, watch, and wait, okay? You're on the 200-day. What did you do here, Tom? You rejected what, the 50? Do I want to be in something that rejected the 50? Probably not, okay? Probably I don't want to do that. It's definitely something that I would, vote against, doing. I'd want to watch this play itself out. It's not something I'd be rushing into. So, yeah, I think you need to be careful there. Usually this goes up only with IWM. We made $10 on this position. I can take this off. I can remove these lines, remove all annotations. But what we're really looking for here is we're really looking to see how this is going to work and what we're going to be able to do with it. I'm not buying something under the 50-day with the 21 sloping down. If you want me to get super technical, and I'm not saying I don't like the company. We did well with it, right? And you can see this line right here. This may be even what you're looking at. Okay, there's support. You're not breaking it, not yet. But with that said, you have some work to do here before this gets prime time, right? So, and what's this? Flagpole, what's this doing? Bear flag, what can I do? Make a higher high. Why do I want to get excited about this? So if you look at it, okay, you see patterns within patterns, right? Here's a bear flag. Inside that bear flag, technically you have what? Right? A morning star. That morning star pattern is completed as soon as it gets to the top of here. You need to break above that morning star, and then that could get you a shot to here. So really, if you wanted to play this, what you need is to get above that, because then you'd be above this morning star. And then it's possible from there, Edward, that you could use that pattern, right? Because you know your pattern recognition to get you 20% or 4 points. That's what I would look at. Okay, that's how I would look at that trade. Until it does that, I wouldn't go near it. And I'd be concerned that IWM's down. That's to me, that's not where I want to be. So just keep going. GSL, what's up, Rob? So GSL, what we're seeing is global ship leasing. You know, I don't know what they're doing, if they're benefiting from this huge shipping container cost. You can just look at this thing. It was just a monster from, you know, where you've been and to no shipping to, you know, here. I mean, gosh, you've got to be up almost 8 times. What do you do now with it? You're respecting this line over and over again, right? So you're also respecting what? The support line right here. The fact that you're not able to get to this support line anymore, right? See how you stopped here, how it stopped here, how it stopped here. Tells you everything you want to know. Let's get rid of this horizontal line for a moment. Clone that one. Let's remove all the horizontal lines for a moment. And then I'll just draw this one back. Just be simpler. Okay. So what I'm going to show you is just while this is going on, okay, you've got this going on, right? And you might actually be able to see this, and it might be there, it might not, but I'm going to check it real quick, Rob. We're going to just clone this because it kind of looks like it might be there. Yeah, it's kind of there, right? There's your line. Not down here as much, but if you just go to here, right? That's the same exact trajectory as this line. There's your channel. So you're at the low end of the channel, and from here you could probably get yourself up to that $28. I mean, that could happen fairly easy. So, you know, it's definitely something that I would be watching. And again, just watch over here as we're watching the VIX collapse a little bit. And we're watching tech, right? You see how tech's starting to rally a little bit. Okay, that's what you're looking for. JP Morgan starting to rally, Goldman starting to rally. Just pay attention to that. Okay, so it's important. What's going on, boss? Hey, Carlos, thank you for your morning brief. I really appreciate it. I'm a fan of yours. Hey, I've got a fan. Thank you very much, buddy. I hope you find it educational. If you do, please share it. You know, my goal is to get in front of as many people as possible, just to educate them, give people a little bit of education on what, you know, traders actually do. I really appreciate it. Thank you. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. It's very rewarding, frankly. AMD is still holding very strong and still going. Yeah, Spencer, I'm all over it. I mean, look, I've been very clear and vocal with those that are in the trading group. Like, I like what I'm seeing with a lot of these names. My issue becomes very simply that I don't like that I'm in a news cycle driven market, because I could have somebody like the CEO of Moderna come on last night and tank the market. Okay. Just as I could have somebody come out tomorrow and bid me up 3%. So what you need to do is you need to mitigate risk in environments like this, right? You need to constantly be taking money out of the market, even if you don't want to, and moving your stops up, even if you don't want to. Okay. It's protect your capital right now. And I'm in a high trend here. I like this. I think you're going to flip out of this. I have a position in this right now, you know, and it's definitely strong. Two strongest stocks, and AMD is actually stronger right now. Two strongest stocks out there, in my opinion, are NVIDIA and AMD. I mean, I don't think it's even close. We're still, even on this pullback, this hardly moved. In NVIDIA, just to point this in perspective, surprised no one asked about it yet. I mean, we've been in this since 214, 230. We're in at 332 right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see this open up, frankly. I think the whole market could open up, tech at least. So just my opinion. Could be wrong. But, you know, now you're down $1. Okay, who cares? Like, seriously, who cares? I mean, it tells you what's going on out there and the buying that you're seeing. And I think that that's going to continue. So anyway, that's my thought on this, and it's definitely something that I'd be watching. I like AMD a lot. I really do. So what's up, Chuck? D-Dog. Let's take a look. So, all right. Yeah. I mean, so my concern would be I broke down, I formed that pattern. It's not super technical because this isn't green, but what do? I can't rally through this. So I don't really complete that Morningstar pattern, do I? Well, that usually means weakness. So that would concern me. Let's look at this on a weekly and see if we get some more data. Yeah. So I would kind of avoid this until it settles in. The other thing I would just kind of point out, this is cloud, okay, on a weekly basis. Okay. This is what software is doing on a weekly basis. Okay. Kind of trying to rally, not really, broke down here. So software is not really the focal point. Now here's the socks. Okay. I'm forming a flag on the socks. I'm reversing to go back over the line. I mean, this is telling you that semiconductors are going to rip. So I would be more focused on semiconductor names. If you're in D-Dog, you're in it, right? But let's go through that as if we're in it, Chuck. Let me let this load in. There we go. You got to get above this. And I don't like these. I don't like these positions. Okay. This is not something that makes me feel warm and fuzzy. So see this? Yeah, I'm not crazy about that at all. So this would, at least for me, I wouldn't even go near it until I'm over that level. And I don't care that I'm paying up $10 because I want to be in for the real move, not this little move. So that's how I would look at it, Chuck. LC and Pub M. Let me just, yeah, I would watch that. I'm going to get a little coffee here. Bear with me 1 second. All right. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So sorry about that. All right. So, yep. I mean, that's what I was just talking about. Now AMD's up 48 basis points. So, I mean, this is exactly the kind of stuff I expect to see today. Expect NVIDIA to go up. I mean, this was, to me, was a buying opportunity. But let's just keep going. So here you are with, this line right here. You got to hold this, and you're not. That would concern me. Also, when you break these channels, you got to get out of the way. And look, here's another sign. I'm going to give you something to use. Let me just get rid of all these annotations. I'm going to give you something very simple to use. Okay. For a guide, if you're in something like this, you never sell. I did a video on Bollinger Bands you might want to watch, but you never sell because you're out of the band. Okay. But when you're out of the band and then you break back in the band on some kind of pattern, like you did here, right? You have to realize that you're going to go to the 21 day. And that's exactly what happened here, right? And then you bounced off of it. When you break that 21 day after being up here, chances are you're going to the lower band, right? Think about it as a rubber band, and it's snapping like a rubber band. It's the best way that I can explain it. So when you break one of these after being up here, you usually means you're going to come down to here. It's a very simple tactic that anybody could use. So I would not be very interested in that at all. I would hold off on that. Now, Pub M. And let's get rid of this real quick. Okay. So, and let's focus on this and just go, all right. So here's where you're at. Look, this has been setting up. And let me just show you this really quickly, because hopefully it is. Yep. So what you have is you have an earnings gap. So we're going to take this off. We're going to put this here. So the way to play this is you have an earnings gap. That earnings gap resulted in here going up, coming back down, and closing here. So now you have a trading range. Okay. We trade these all the time. It's a simple trade. You close below this line, see how it tests it and then doesn't break. It just takes everybody's money from them. And then you go higher. So I would not be touching this till I'm over 42 3/4, 42.76 to be exact. So FSLR. So FSLR. Okay. So what do we have here? We're just going to go here and click on this. Okay. And that's where you're at. All right. I kind of like this. I kind of like that pattern. I don't know if this is sitting anywhere else, but let's just see if it is. I don't think it is. I don't see it. No, not really. Okay. You just have a wedge, not really have a channel. But I like that. But I'd wait for this wedge break. I'd wait for that wedge break, and I'd wait to get over this. I can throw in the moving averages, but it's kind of pointless. Throw these in. Yeah, I mean, you're wedged in between the 21 and the 50. But I'd be looking to break above this line before I got involved. Let's do some of these. So AMD in the video we did. Let's do Lamb research, because that's really interesting what's going on there. Okay, this break is everything. Okay, we talked about this yesterday. We wanted to see follow through. So I'm just going to tell you right now, if you break out of this, and you did this yesterday, but you really need to make sure that you have the strength. If you get above that level on Lamb, it probably is going to go. It's been basing for a very, very long time. You know, you could argue that the base started back here. Okay, but even if you just say the base started here, you're out to April, you're on a 9-month base, and you have not really seen the equipment manufacturers run. And it might be time for them to participate, which would be healthy for the market, which leads us to maybe we should be looking at AMAT, right? Those kinds of names. Maybe they're going to go. Maybe it's their time. And that's kind of interesting. I make that statement, and then what did we do? Came back, retested this level right here, and then closed above the 21-day. So that's somewhat interesting, right? And it kind of fits in with the thesis on what's going on here, right? What we saw the reversal and what I just showed you about the SOX. I like that. ASML, great company. It's a great company. Look at what we did. This was our bounce level. We talked about this. We talked about this asymmetrical triangle, and now you're flipping the 50. I like this. I think you're going to go back to 878 fairly quickly. So okay, just keep going. Please like this video. So I purposely don't run ads in the middle of it so that we just get to the information, but the algorithm won't share it as much unless people show ads or like it for whatever reason. Good morning, MTTR. Good morning, buddy. So this was in the top 5 at 5 last night. See this 33.48? That's what you're waiting for. Get above that, and then you could give it a shot. Realistically, this could just trade and bounce around. It can go either way. It could literally come back down here and retest support. And even retesting that support level does not make it broken. It just means that it's retesting that support level. This was an enormous move yesterday from 26 to 33. Okay. And that's just FOMO, people not wanting to miss out. Pardon me. We all know what it does, right? We all know what it does. So it's not something that we need to, concern ourselves with. Let me rephrase that. We all know that it's part of the metaverse, right? Or it's involved in the metaverse, or might be involved in the metaverse. People don't want to miss out on the next thing. They just don't. So consider that. I like it. GSL, they lease out container ships. They just renewed to plus an increase in their dividend. Yeah, these dividends are the way to go. They're throwing off so much cash. You saw that with this too. And again, I don't know the differentiations between them, but this just came out with a huge dividend. So I think that's really big when you see things like that. And I think that's great. So yeah, this can go. This could easily get to the top of that level. And if they don't raise rates, people are going to be buying yield. RBLX, what's up, Root? So this is your trend line. You're trying to break, and every time you do, you're just failing. What would get me and what would concern me about this particular trade, one, this long red nasty bar, okay? And now I have a rising wedge here. And what I don't like is that when everything else broke out yesterday on a relative strength basis, right? What didn't break out? RBLX. So that's what I would focus on. I can't get over RBLX until you are up here. 131. Thanks, Root. So that's what I would look for. Yep, you're welcome, Rob. MRNA. What's up, Isaac? MRAM. So Everspin Tech. I don't know what this does, or was this earnings move? Yeah, it was an earnings move. So obviously they're doing better than people think they are. So let's just get through this and let me just see what I'm dealing with here. So whenever I see something like this that's been basing, I like to go back and take a longer term look and see if I see something like this. And we do. So let's just go and make this really simple, since today's the last day of the month anyway. And let's just crunch this. And let's get rid of these indicators, right? Because they really don't matter for what we're going to do. So what we're going to look for is we're going to look for price points on the monthly and see where we're at. Okay, so you're through all these. Okay, so realistically, being through all these, the next level for this to get to is here. Okay, so this can continue. Okay, this would be your target, 17.15. Now that we know that from the monthly, let's just review this on the daily and see where these lines take us. See that? So we used the monthly chart to draw trend lines and see how it respects this one here, even on a daily chart. Breaks, gets up to it, and then look at it. Look where it stopped. Look where it flips, right? These levels, it takes these resistance levels and makes them support, right? And that's what it's been doing. So this is actually a huge flag that's setting up. It's an interesting name. I don't know what they do, but there's your wedge line. So if you break, and you can see you hit it this morning and you bounced right off of it, right? So that's what you want to focus on. But I like this. This could get to 17 bucks. What do you have volume wise? Do you have volume? People playing this? Yep. Yeah. I mean, I would definitely be watching this. You know, volume out of nowhere. What's the relative volume? Yeah. I mean, that's insanity. You definitely need to be paying attention to this. So let's get rid of this for a moment. But the fact that you have a volume spike like this, yeah, I mean, you had a lot of people that said, I need to be involved. And now you're just working that off and you're just waiting for the moving averages to trade up. Let's look at this. I like this. So, yep, you broke the 8, you came back over it. So there's your wedge line. That's what I would focus on. You could actually just even say over, you know, the high of 1330, get involved. Right? Don't get involved until you're over 1330. So, but I like that a lot. So I sold the January put in the video, received $69 premium. When should I roll it out further? Currently waiting to see for it to rise. So what I would do with that is I'd probably leave that, Mark. I would probably leave that. My issue here is that if you break 309, you have to get out of the way. But I don't think that that's going to happen. I think that this is going to melt up into the year. And, you know, everybody knows how I feel about NVIDIA at this point, right? So, I mean, it's the one stock that is not shaking people out, and it's a great spot. What you're really going to also have to watch, and what's affecting you right now, and you might be looking at that option, Mark, and going, how come I'm not making any money? Or how come I'm not making real money on that? Why isn't it losing value? And one of the issues you're running into is this spike. So if that's what you're running into. Now, if you did it on this day, you're golden. You did it on this day or you did it down here, you're running into issues because the implied vol is kicking up, which is causing the option to be worth more. But as volatility drops back down to the mean, and we can all see what that mean is, right? We can all see that. Okay. So when you see that, you know, when you drop back down there, those options will implode. So I like it. I would not roll it out. I would not roll it out right now. I'd leave it exactly where it is and just let the money keep coming in. I definitely would not roll it out. Here's when you can roll it out. I mean, one of the things you could do is just wait till you close over this level. Once you close over that level, you could roll it out if you wanted to. You're not going to break this red wick and not go higher. It's just not going to happen. So it's just an opinion, but that's how I feel. So let's go from there. Start getting through these, wrap it up. Oh, that's good. So Oxy. Yeah, I like Oxy, Alberto. I think today's probably one of those days where you should probably be looking at it, right? You don't want to buy it when it's up. You want to buy it when it's down. What I kind of like about energy, what it's doing too, is if you look at the financial names like JP Morgan, okay, they all came down to these new low levels. If you look at energy today, they really didn't do that, which means they're respecting these older levels. I mean, this is a really easy trade. You just print the stock and use this as your stop. And you just wait for things to trade up, and then it gets up to this 31.5, 32 level. That's probably what's going to happen with it. I like that a lot. And got somebody to get rid of. All right, so let me just keep going. Apple, please. So you can see what's going on here, right? Let's just review this. And then I'm going to have to wrap this up here. I got a couple more I'll do. So this is where you're at. You need to break this, okay? This is where we're in from the newsletter. So you could see the buys. I think we have 3 of them at this point. Hold on, remove this text. Yeah, remove that text. So you can see that we have 3 buys. Look, I haven't raised the target price. Here's your issue. You can see this, right? So let's get rid of these indicators. Every single time you're rejecting. It looked like we were going to go, and what did it do? It rejected. Then it looked like we were going to go again, closed at an all-time high, and then we got the new Rona. Now what you have is an inside day right against that line. Until you flip concisely, you can't buy this here. You just can't buy it. It's not something that you should be in. So right around here is you blow it out when it gets up that high. No, I don't. I know Powell speaks today, so that'll be another, fun day, another fun data point. Hey Frank, SI. Yeah, I mean, I like this. It's still on the list. I kind of like the fact that when Bitcoin was going down, this was going up. So I do like that. I'm kind of in a lot of minutia right here, so I would just watch that. But other than that, I do like the name. Yeah, I mean, I have mRNA puts out 300s. They're basically worthless. Look, I've been just knocking it around and trading it whenever it rallies. I mean, that's all I've been doing with it, Nestor. Just constantly trying to pull money out of it. Yesterday you sold down and then you kind of traded up. You try to get to this level and you're here. It is what it is. Maybe there's news that drives it down. If it breaks this point right here, 350, it's going to go lower. You'll probably fill this gap down to here, 335. But, you're going to have to see how that goes. Oh, you're welcome. I don't know what a believer in what. Yeah, you just need patience. Correct. The newsletter, the free newsletter is, there's a link. There'll be a link in this description. I also think there's a link. Hold on one second. Let me just see if I actually did this. There's so many other things I got on the plate. If you go to the front page, there used to be a button there. It's not there. Oh, it's not there anymore. I'm going to have to put that button in. I don't know where that button went. Yeah, there'll be a link in the description of this or any of the video. There's a link that says free newsletter. Just click on that and you'll get it. And you should be able to get it. I wonder if I can post links in this comment. I don't know. Let's try. Right? Maybe I can do that. Can I do that? Does that work? Let's see. Yeah, I mean, if you copy, can copy that link, I don't know if you can copy that or not. Let me know if you can copy that. That'll take you right to the newsletter. It's free. It comes out weekly. The free one comes out weekly. You're welcome, buddy. Thank you. All right, I got to jump here, everybody. Everybody, trade sharp.